So if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Yes.
Something strange takes place, which is consciousness. The irresponsible consciousness is one thing.
Yes.
And the consciousness of responsibility is another. Now, when the human being is totally responsible, that responsibility unconsciously enters into the irresponsible mind. I don't know. Anything.
Yes, no, go ahead.
So, look, I'm
Wait,
irresponsible.
pause this for 1 second. This is so good. I want you to watch the whole thing. This is when Krishnamurti was at the University of San Diego. What's the professor's name again? I forgot his name. David or Sanborn or something. He's sitting with a professor at the University of San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, or is San Diego State, one of the two. And when I tell you, go ahead, Andy. Alan Anderson, that's who he's sitting with. And Alan Anderson is an academician, scholar, and he had the opportunity to bring Krishnamurti to one of the San Diego schools. I think it's either San Diego State or the University of San Diego, SDU. And this talk is so riveting. This is a younger Krishnamurti when he could articulate. Go ahead.
Enters into the irresponsible mind. I don't know. Anything.
Yes, no, go ahead.
So, look, I'm irresponsible. Suppose I'm irresponsible. You are responsible. You can't do anything consciously with me. Because the more you actively operate on me, I resist.
That's right. That's what I meant by no attacking.
Attacking. I react violently to you. I build wall against you. I hurt you. I do all kinds of things. But you see that you cannot do anything consciously, actively. Let's put it that way.
Designedly.
Planned, which is what they're all trying to do. But if you can talk to me, to my unconscious, because the unconscious is much more active.
Oh, yes.
Much more alert, much more sees the danger, much quicker than the conscious. So he's much more sensitive. So if you can talk to me, to the unconscious, that operates. So you don't actively, designedly attack the irresponsible. They have done it. And they have made a mess of it.
Listen, I can't get you to do right by anybody or yourself unless I speak to you subconsciously, to your subconscious? Because consciously, you're going to defend. Who are you to be calling me out on my BS when you a mess? This is why we've changed Krishnamurti's name to Krishnahurti. Because he be hitting you with the truth that hurts. This Krishnahurti. J. Krishnahurti. That's what we're going to do now. Because this is what he's all of this mess, this psychological baggage that we have repressed, suppressed, that we actively avoid, unconsciously avoid. This is what we run out into the world thinking somebody's going to accept us as the mess we are. And then we think they do. Oh, I found somebody. And then you realize, wait a minute, I found somebody wearing a mask. And behind that mask, these people are just as much of a mess as I. Oh, hell no. Mess mirrors. Let me get my caller in here. We got Tanya from Vallejo. Yee. What up? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I love the topic that's going on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to start with just saying, like, let love lead the way. That will probably be my closing. But as we speak, let love lead the way. I believe that some of the things that I have seen working in a very diverse age, I would just say age-wise, company is a lot of people come up with that. It used to be a dap. It belonged to a certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's twisted. It used to be a fist bump. Now it's to the side. I don't even know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So some people will just use they'll use the gesture to hold themselves as they're accountable and they're upright and they're respectful and reliable.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, these individuals will switch gears and they'll come asking the same people that they did this, I don't know, physical gesture with.
Mm-hmm.
They will manipulate them. They'll say, hey, do you remember? Or they'll start planting a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Or did so-and-so say this to you? They'll start trying to plant a seed of manipulation in people. And that right there is just like a work setting. So for people that, if you are not teaching your children how to apologize, apologizing is a lesson. If you have to teach them, and it will be a lecture. That lecture should go on in the home about apologizing. They have to know the reason why they're apologizing. You have to let them know what they have done wrong or right. Because there's you want them to be praised for when they're doing good, but you want to definitely teach them from when they have to apologize. And that right there will become a lecture because they don't teach apology in school. They just, okay, you get timeout, you go to detention, something, in that form. But being apologetic should start in the home. Because if you don't have an apologetic household, you will go out into that world, into society, and you will be a menace. That's a lesson.
Right.
You guys have to teach your children to apologize why they're apologizing and hug. So I'm old school, so I'm not up with the twisted dap or fist bump for that. But you have to teach your children when they're young, and they don't want to apologize. They just want to throw a stick, a rock, whatever they want to do. But you have to let them know that mentorship, that lectureship, that teaching It starts early, and they're definitely not teaching the children in school that now.
Right. You know
And
what's
when we come
interesting?
from go ahead.
What's interesting is because I remember your story, and you know they say narcissists don't apologize. They don't know how.
They won't.
They won't apologize. They won't acknowledge. They won't be accountable for anything that they've done. And if you bring anything up, you might get a volatile reaction or response from them.
True.
So my question to you is, how did you develop this nuanced understanding of apology being raised by someone you suspect to be a narcissist?
You have to let love lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I came, and that was my parents. Mm-hmm. One of my parents, but at the same day, I believe that I was a chain breaker. I was going to break that.
Mm-hmm.
The narcissist is not going to want to accept anything that's positive, especially if it doesn't work for them.
Right.
So as a child, can you imagine growing up and like my father, as you know, some of the story, my father would implement, he would teach, he would educate, he would put all the seeds into me and my brother. Mm-hmm. Well, my mother, on the other hand, she was the more physical person. Mm-hmm. She would teach us, like, go knock somebody upside the head with a stick. Ooh. Instead of reasoning and talking to them. And, like, that was her mode. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying, like, she wasn't diagnosed, but I knew the difference between love and I knew the difference between hate or evil.
Right, or evil.
So, yeah. And just to be in both realms, I picked the better one. Mm. And I believe some of what's going on today is there is this body language where you can, I guess, blend in. Mm-hmm. And I don't blend in. I choose love.
I love that.
Spiritually and physically. That's just what I choose.
I love
that. So
that.
people try to blend in. Yeah, thank you, though. It's what's necessary. It's what makes the world go round.
Right. But most people are selfish and they're focused on what they can get out of a situation. See, love is ubiquitous.
Yeah.
You don't just see love in your intimate partner. You see love in everything. You see love in everybody.
Everything.
That's the level of consciousness that love radiates at, vibrates at. But most people have a very conditional, fragmented, I would say, misinterpreted version of love. They have their own definition. Listen, love itself supersedes definition. It reminds me of Alfred Korzybski's famous line, "The definition creates the condition." Well, guess what? If you're not healed and you're saying you love someone, then that love is filtered through your conditioning. So what if you were conditioned in a toxic way, right?
Yes. And I've dealt with people. I'm actually around people that are that way. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that recently, like if you address, like let's say, oh, finally you get to meet someone's parents. Mm-hmm. I am so a little direct. I will, I'm not going to be disrespectful outright, but I would say, oh, so I'm going to meet the person that taught you how to treat someone. And then I would shake their, oh, so you're the one that taught my significant other how to treat people. Nice to meet you. Because I want to give it right there, so we don't play no games. Moving forward.
No,
and I don't.
Wait, somebody is. Wait, 1 second. Just give me 1 second, because our folks is in here listening to you and they're responding to you. Nzinga says, does love supersede definition because it's different for everybody? No. Love is not different for everybody. Let's just make it clear. People think it's different, but love is not different for everybody. You know what's different? People's interpretation of love. Now, if you are insecurely attached, right, you're going to define love a certain way for you. If you're anxiously preoccupied in your attachment, you're going to find a definition that fits that. If you're dismissive avoidant, you're going to find you're going to find a definition that works. Oh, let's go even deeper. If you're narcissistic, you're going to have your own definition of what love is to you. So if you're broken, if you're unhealed, you're going to try to define that which can't be defined. Again, love is synonymous with God. Same thing. It's a synonym for God. If you're at a certain level of consciousness, the Buddhists will call it moksha, the Hindu will call it nirvana, Christians will call it Christ consciousness. If you're at a certain level, you'll go, wow, it is everything. It is everything. And that's what love is. So many people have made an identity from their brokenness. This is why they have a definition for what they think love is or means to them. Go ahead.
Right. So I think there's a misconception between love and desire.
Ooh.
Like love will never get you into trouble. Love won't get you into trouble. You'll never have to apologize for loving somebody. You won't. You'll always have to apologize for hurting somebody. And if you're not educated in love, you're following some of these desires. They are probably worldly desires, fleshly desires. There may be selfish desires.
Or psychological desires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is another abuse that people are not aware of. There's a lot of psychological abuse that can start when they're children. But you don't never have to apologize for loving someone.
Ooh.
So making excuses or trying to figure out how to love, that's a barrier there. And break through that barrier. Either you love somebody, either you want to love or you don't.
It is what it is. Tanya?
It is. Go ahead. Okay.
Guess what you just did, sweetheart?
What?
You brought Vallejo in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Tanya was on fire. I need to hear from her all the time. She was cooking. That girl wise. She wise now. When we come forward, I'm going to Hawaii and Alabama. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature, or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting. On Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nee Cordelai Corte, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors, community leaders, and experts as we commemorate day 100 since the wildfires flared up. And we discuss where where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire, 100 Days and Counting Town Hall, Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign-up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. The first 100 attendees will receive a complimentary air purifier. This is a community call to action, brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I call you in case I'm not here tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can borrow a piece of mind. I'm behind on what's really important. My mind is really distorted. I find nothing but trouble in my life. I'm fortunate you believe in a dream. This orphanage we call a ghetto is quite a routine. And last night was just another distraction or a reaction of what we consider madness. I know exactly what happened. You ran outside when you heard my brother cry for help. Held him like a newborn baby and made him feel like everything was alright in a fight he tried to put up. But the type of bullet that stuck had went against his will. Last blood spill on your hands, my plans.
Ladies, when you send us to the store, turn your ringtone on. It's not even in case we might call you, okay? We're going to call you.
Let's call this what it is. It is weaponized incompetence. It is a strategic move to try not to have to do that task again in the future. It is a move meant to make her feel like she can't trust him with that task because he's so incapable of it. He's just not resourceful enough to follow through on simple tasks like grocery shopping. And even if your partner gives you the most specific list, asking for the most specific kind of eggs, and they're not where you think they should be, you know who can answer your questions better than your partner can? People who work at that store. They're the ones who can tell you where that is. They are the ones who can say, yes, sir, let me show you the way to the aisle that has the special eggs, right? Looking to your partner to know everything, do everything, and be your personal assistant to guide you through life is not something most women are looking for. And it is a very strategic move by many men to try to get out of having to do things. If they do it poorly enough times, their partner's just not going to ask them to do it anymore. So instead of stepping up and being resourceful like we know they can be, they choose to play an act of being dumb. And really what it is it's laziness. They're trying to get out of doing the work. So they'd rather call someone else to do it for them. Don't put up with this.
Turn her off.
I'm sorry.
Why is she even on this show right now? A lot of men just got exposed. Just play dumb. Keep texting her. Now, when I get there, what kind of sauce you say you want? What's that brand you normally get? What is? Just never mind. I'll go. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Everybody wants to talk tonight. We're all over the country as usual. Let's make it happen. John, Mountain View, Hawaii. Passa John. What's the deal, good brother?
Actually, ranges are hot, and yeah. Let me go ahead and try and control that real quick. Great subject, great topic. Wow. Let me say this and be brief. If aggression and assertion are its opposites, does anger have an opposite?
Are you saying what's the opposite of anger?
Yep.
All right. So anger is usually a secondary emotion, right? So usually anger is sitting on top of something that is unresolved, which is why it comes out. So you see anger, it wells up out of frustration, right? All you got to do is watch a child. When somebody gets angry, and I've been angry before, and I know exactly where it's coming from. You watch a child trying to open something, and it's too difficult. They get frustrated, and they'll try again a few times, and the frustration starts to build. Then they'll throw it or start crying. Anger starts to manifest. So anger is a reflection of unresolved frustration. So now, ask yourself that question again. What is the opposite of anger? Would it be acceptance?
Accepting and anger.
Yeah, opposite. See, we get mad when things... Listen, anger is a powerful level of consciousness. I think it's at 175. And that's when you get, oh, I got to get up and do something about this. Anger is action-oriented. Let me go change my situation. So it's a low level of consciousness, but it's also an active level of consciousness, which is above guilt, which is above apathy, which is above shame. It's just beneath courage, and courage is just beneath neutrality. So when we say, what's the opposite of anger? Well, we have to look at it on the opposite side of the consciousness grid, and that would be neutrality, which is acceptance. There's nothing I can do about this. There's nothing I should do about this. I can only control what is mine to control. So there's nothing to be angry or frustrated about. Does that make sense?
All of it does make sense, but I'm also playing with the anger side of it, because anger not just bad, which again is what we instantly label it as.
Oh no,
most people
it's not. It's not. It's not totally bad, but that's for all of them.
Yep. And aggression, which is not on the scale, it can be found within the confines. Yeah, everything has layers and levels. But isn't that the part where it starts getting evil, i.e. ending up in war?
Ooh, wait, hold on. Here you go. You stay right there, Dr. John. Pastor John is cooking. When we come forward, we're going to go back to Mountain View, Hawaii, and get his final thought on that statement.
My brother, not to duck. In actuality, it's a trip how we trip off of colors. I wonder if I ever discover a passion like you and recover the life that I knew as a youngin' in pajamas and thunderlons. When thunder comes, it rains cats and dogs dumb. Cause like me, never prosper. Prognosis of a problem child. I'm proud and well devoted. This Pyrush been near me forever. So forever, I'ma push it wherever, whenever.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The trial of former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson charged with killing Sonia Massey, a black woman, has been moved to Peoria County. His lawyers argued he could not get a fair trial in Sangamon County, Illinois. No date has been set. Rep. Laurel Lee, the only Florida lawmaker who backed Ron DeSantis for president, is now endorsing black Rep. Byron Donalds for governor. She joins 6 other members of Florida's congressional delegation. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams' administration is allowing ICE to open an office at Rikers Island to work with city officials on gang and drug cases. Critics, including Black City Council Speaker Adrian Adams, say it aligns New York City with Trump's harsh deportation policies. And LeBron James is becoming Mattel's first ever Ken-bassador with his own Ken doll. Taller than the usual Ken, it features James in a varsity jacket, Beats headphones, and Nike sneakers. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
It's not a moment. It's a movement. And we're still marching. KBLA Talk 1580. Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber
warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're hurting yourself by blaming somebody else for your problems, blaming your lack of progress on somebody else. There are so many times in life where you don't know how to do something, but rather than pick yourself up and figure out how to do it, you spend more time blaming somebody else for not teaching you how to do it. You try to get out of doing it because you don't know how to do it. What this ultimately comes down to is a term called weaponized incompetence, where you're using your lack of knowledge to your advantage and to somebody else's disadvantage. If you ever find yourself trying to blame somebody else for your lack of knowledge, you just need to figure your own shit out. You need to go out and figure out how to do that yourself and get it done. You'll be better for it.
Weaponized incompetence. Are you laying this at the feet of your significant other? We're talking about, why don't you just accept you? Accountability. Right? Are we not accountable because ultimately we don't accept ourselves? We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. I want to get his final thought on it. He was saying something very powerful. Go ahead, John. Finish cooking, brother.
Okay. Hot ranges, aggression, assertion, and the simple fact is the action towards assertion always ends up in a negative sense due to the fact that as you assert yourself or show aggression, which again, the assertion is your positive way of dealing with it. Mm-hmm. Your aggression is the negative way of dealing with it.
Right.
But again, as we look back at anger, which is actually the funnel point, because you could have good anger, you could have bad anger, mm-hmm. but it's only shown through the aggression or assertion if you're paying attention to it. Too many different layers.
So let's just be clear. If we're in a relationship dynamic, it's okay to be assertive with regard to speaking your truth, not, pushing what you need to say down or avoiding saying what needs to be said. That's good. But when it turns aggressive, you already know the heat in the room, the temperature in the room changes, the whole climate changes. Now people are on high alert because that's how people deal with anger in that context. So this is why I always tell people to go get that book by Marshall, Nonviolent Communication. right? It's a practice that I think all relationships would benefit from. Nonviolent communication, learning how to say what you need to say in an assertive yet respectful way that isn't demeaning or dismissive to the other person's feelings, but it's very declarative in how you need to express yourself, right? It's very certain in that way. But like I said, when you shift over into anger or aggression, that's when defense mechanisms show up. That's when, hey, this is not a conversation anymore. This is something else. Does that make sense?
Understood all, but let's go back to the reptilian mind that has developed your testosterone at 3 years of age. Right. And the only way it degrades from that point, 9 times out of 10 on the female side of the game, it aggresses quickly. And depending on the soul of the boy, it also aggresses profusely.
Sure.
So instead, it's the shadow work, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, if you suffer, or anybody suffers, from frontal lobe hijack, because that's what it's called. When you're talking about the limbic system, the old reptilian brain, the fight or fight, kind of response, that's because somebody, and if we're talking about a male in this situation, he hasn't done any inner work either. So anger becomes a type of communication, a type of language for him, right? But the reality of it is, and remember, that old brain is athletic. It's reactive. It's not responsive. The new brain, which is the frontal lobe, where reason is, where thinking is an unathletic portion of the brain, which is indicative of thinking, pondering, right? Let me think about what I'm about to do, or let me think about what I'm about to say. That's when you're fully engaging that frontal lobe. But if you haven't done any self-work, you haven't conquered the anger issues, anger management, whatever, you might need to deal with the anger piece, you'll always be subject to the reptilian brain hijacking the frontal lobe hijack. But you really brought some clarity to us tonight, and I appreciate that. John, guess what my big brother just did?
Mountain View's in the house. The range is still hot.
Yes,
Love you
sir.
all.
Yes, sir. My brother from Hawaii. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward. Oh, I can keep going. Cool. DT, Alabama. What up, DT? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? And no profanity, DT.
Hello. I was in the chat, and my friend encouraged me to call in, so I'm calling in.
Come on, Alabama. Is it Roll Tide or is it War Damn Eagle?
It's Roll Tide.
Damn it.
It's Roll Tide.
Okay. All right. My son went to Auburn, so it's War Damn Eagle over here. But that's fine.
It's okay.
It's all good. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Okay, so I like the question that you asked Tanya. I think her name was Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
About handling narcissistic people.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up with narcissistic parents, both of them.
Both
Very
of them?
heavy. Yes, both of them. Yes. And
were they diagnosed?
No, they were not diagnosed.
But you know what it looked like. That's what you said.
I know what it looked like.
Talk to me a little bit about your upbringing. Tell me some of it. Talk to me. You can share. No judgment.
So as a kid, they always would they will project their insecurities on you to make you feel like you the problem.
Ooh.
Even though it's
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes from their childhood trauma. How I was able to escape and to heal was to analyze myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to look at it from all perspectives in order to heal from all perspectives, because I've watched some of your videos and it was just hitting everything, and I was like, that's it. You have to look at their childhood, how they was taught, then you got to look at beyond. And as I was seeing, I was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to do this.
We're not
going to
doing this.
redirect.
What we not going to do is this. Go ahead. I hear you.
Yeah. We're not going to, and it goes back to, I forgot, it was when one of your videos about emotional attachment or something like that, or trauma that runs down through the family line.
Yes, generational trauma, intergenerational trauma being passed down epigenetically. I understand. Let's go. So
Yes.
you broke the cycle.
Yes, I broke the cycle.
Wow, I love that. Did you do
By
therapy?
resetting. No, I didn't do therapy. I self-taught myself. So I
ain't mad at that. Go
reset
ahead. I ain't mad. Go
I
ahead.
I resetted my whole mentality, emotional, everything. Everything I ever was programmed to learn, I resetted that.
So you
and
know what that's
relearned.
called? You know what that's called? Look
No.
it up. Reparenting. You had to reparent yourself. You said, no, what they taught me wasn't right. You had to reparent. No, let me flip this. I love that. In my book, The Shrouded Lighthouse, chapter 14, there's a chapter where I talk about the pen of self-authorship. You got to learn how to pick that pen up. It's as heavy as Thor's hammer. But once you get the courage and the strength to pick up that pen, you get to rewrite your story. Because, attachment theory tells us there's 3 insecure attachment styles: anxious, preoccupied, AP, dismissive, avoidant, DA, and FA, fearful, avoidant, right? But all of these insecure attachment styles can be rewritten. They're not permanent.
Exactly.
They're only permanent if you ignore them, right? So it sounds like you picked up the pen of self-authorship and you said, no, this is me living this life, and I don't have to live in a toxic pattern that raised me. I love that about you. I love it. Come on, DT, what you doing?
And look, check this out. So, dealing with narcissistic parents, and this is the question: do you think that our society have made this a norm to make excuses for being accountable for their actions? Because as my parents, they would make all types of excuses why they didn't love me, or why they didn't do this, or why they didn't do such. Yes.
So let me do this. Let me answer it 2 ways. Number 1, stop asking them. That's number 1. Don't ask.
No, I didn't ask them, but
don't even. The other piece is it's not a chemical imbalance. My clinician friends tell me it's not a chemical imbalance like bipolar. Like, here, let me give you this medication and it'll even you out. Like, sometimes you're manic, sometimes you're so happy you're manic, sometimes you're so sad you're depressed. It's not a chemical imbalance. It's a personality trait. That's just who they are.
Right.
As a person. So it's kind of like, wait, stay with me. My engineer is telling me I got to move forward real quick, but you stay with me. Don't hang up. When we come forward, I'm going to continue to break this down for DT in Alabama. She's on complete fire.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
This is Stevie Wonder, calling on Los Angeles property owners to help get unhoused veterans off the street. If you're a property owner or know someone who is, consider accepting veteran housing vouchers. You will receive guaranteed rent while providing a stable and safe home. Help end veteran homelessness and make a real difference in people's lives.
Learn more by emailing houseourvets@lacity.org.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one.
Who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the sounds of Kendrick Lamar. He has been my co-host for the entire 2 hours. The reason why I played him is because his music is introspective. I said I'm going to stay away from all the hits, just the introspective stuff. His music is deep, it's thought-provoking, and this topic is that too. So we appreciate everybody for tapping in. I want to get DT's final thoughts. DT, you got 30 seconds to tell me your final thought on tonight's topic.
Well, for tonight's topic, it was really good on accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it because a lot in the society, people think that you don't have to be accountable for your actions or what you do in life because it's not being taught.
No, I totally agree, but I will tell you this. Narcissism is not a made-up thing. It's a real thing.
Sure.
And they can hurt people, and they're not accountable. And I'm going to tell you, the best way to deal with them is to gray rock them. Gray rock. Be a gray rock, a stone. They say, when you coming over? Tomorrow. What time you coming over? 9 a.m. Like, you don't give them extra. You don't give them no emotion. You don't give them no extra talk.
Right.
How you doing? Fine. You don't give them any you have to gray rock them. Because
you most definitely have to.
You see what I'm saying? Anything they do that gets a response out of you is a type of supply for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you and listen, you've done a great job. I'm just really proud that you would call and share and be as open as you've been tonight. Listen, you got a seat at the table. Anytime you want to call in, you could do that, okay?
Okay.
All right, DT brought Alabama in the building. War damn Eagle. Okay, sorry. We'll roll Tide too. Yes, and then now, the author of said topic. Attila from Houston, Texas is on the line. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yo, real quick, I want to give a shout out to DT and Tanya. Ladies, y'all get it. Y'all get it.
It's been all ladies, right? Hasn't it?
Who I met? I met somebody?
Without our brother John. Pastor John was cooking too.
Pastor, come on now, Pastor.
Yeah.
You already know. But the last thing I want to say, kind of going back to what Tanya was saying about love, So we are trying to define something that we can't quantify. We can't quantify love. And we keep mixing that up with attachment, right? Attachment is temporary, it's fleeting, but the love is going to last forever. And so, like she said, if you keep that at the forefront, right, that is what's going to help you. So when it comes to accepting you, you can't do that without authentic love. You can't be temporarily attached to you. You are forever sitting with you. So I just want to leave it at that. Y'all have a good night.
Temporarily attached to you, Attila cooking with the rarest grease. We appreciate you. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me 1-800-920-1580. Love it, love it, love it. Now, let me just wrap it up. Let me wrap up the rest of the show. What's interesting is Attila was, talking about the ubiquity of love. Love is beyond definition. And you've heard me say on numerous shows, love is synonymous with God. They're the same thing. Here are some theological paradoxes. If Calvinism, right? I don't want to do this. If the Calvinist predestination doctrine asserts God's omnipotence over human agency, does this theologically justify societal avoidance of accountability? Well, here's the empirical hook. Predominant Calvinist regions in America show 20% higher rates of narcissistic traits, according to the APA. Now, here's a quote from Joseph Campbell that brings Attila's point even more home. God is a metaphor for that which transcends all levels of intellectual thought. Joseph Campbell. I want you to understand, love is identical to that. We want to define it. Love is you showing up for me. Love is you showing up for my wounds. Love is you taking care of me. Love is you being a man. Love and God supersedes all of that. Joseph Campbell, he was the one who inspired George Lucas to create Star Wars. And he was this professor of anthropology and cultures, and he wrote a book called "The Face of a Thousand Face of a Thousand Masks." I think it was called. I have it. I've read it a few times. It's amazing, right? Him and Bill Moyer sat down for PBS and did an amazing breakdown of all of these cultures and the symbolism behind what the culture represented. God is a metaphor for that which transcends all level of intellectual thought. Joseph Campbell. Love is the same thing. We've turned love into a verb. We've turned love into a set of behaviors. That's because we're wounded. You don't have to behave in any kind of way if you're really vibrating at the highest level of love. Now you're tapped into God. Listen, I started the conversation. You don't have to agree. I don't profess to be right. But I started it. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back tomorrow for my Friday. Hey, you already know these weeks are flying because I'm in here cooking. They flying because I'm frying. I'll holla at y'all tomorrow.
Shame when you still feel like you ain't, feel like you don't feel confidence in yourself, breaking on marble floors, watching anonymous strangers telling me that I'm yours, but you ain't, I'm confess your tolerance, nothing special. What can I blame you for? God can name several situations. I start with your little sister baking, a baby inside, just a teenager. Where your patience? What was your antennas? What was the influence you speak of? You preached in front of 100,000.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The Trump administration is reportedly freezing nearly $2 billion in